In the United States during the 20th century, there were 16,316 deaths from polio and 29,004 deaths from smallpox. Fast forward to 2012, there were no reported cases of polio or smallpox in the United States because of vaccinations. Furthermore, measles killed 530,000, mumps killed 162,000, rubella killed 47,000, HIV killed 20,000 people yearly during the 20th century in the United States. But in 2012, each of these diseases were decreased by 99% because of vaccinations. The anti-vax movement is putting the United States at risk of a national epidemic. This new trend of parents rejecting vaccinations for their children on the false belief that vaccines are unhealthy for children is making diseases that were eradicated from the United States return deadlier than ever. One of these diseases is measles. Measles is a vaccine-preventable disease that spreads like wildfire through humans. Between 1963 and 1965, measles killed 11,000 babies and caused birth defects in 20,000 more babies. Measles was eradicated in the United States in the year 2000. But now, measles is back in the United States because of the anti-vaccination movement. There has been confirmed cases of measles in New York City, Washington State, New Jersey, Michigan, and California. In the year 2019, just this year, not even halfway through the year yet, there's been 626 measles cases confirmed in the United States. 40 of these cases were confirmed in Washington State. As of April 24, 2019, there's been 390 confirmed cases of measles in Brooklyn and Queens since October. In California, 38 confirmed cases. In Michigan, 43 confirmed cases. On April 25, 2019, only 2 days ago, California State, Los Angeles, and UCLA quarantined 1,000 students from the measles outbreak. In our own state of New Jersey, in 2018, there was 30 confirmed cases in Ocean County and 3 cases in Passaic County from measles. Unvaccinated people in the same community is asking for an outbreak of deadly diseases. Measles was eradicated in 2000, but now is back because of the anti-vaccination movement. Measles is not the only vaccine-preventable disease that we should be worried about returning to the United States. What about polio? What about whooping cough? What about smallpox? What about pneumococcus? Now, pneumococcus is a bacterium that causes pneumonia, meningitis, and blood infections, which, by the way, kills 470,000 people worldwide. Pneumococcus happens to be a vaccine-preventable disease. Now, what if some person happens to go on a foreign aid trip to somewhere in Africa and brings home this awful disease because they do not have the vaccines to help them protect themselves? This would be a devastating blow to the United States, for thousands of people would die because of this disease returning to the United States. In 2011, 49 U.S. states did not meet the 92 to 94% herd immunity threshold for whooping cough. This resulted in a 2012 outbreak that sickened 42,000 people and was the biggest outbreak since 1955. Once almost eradicated, whooping cough surges back into the United States because of a lack of vaccinations. The reason parents are choosing to not vaccinate their children is because they believe vaccinations cause autism and other health issues in children. Parents believe the chemicals used in the vaccinations are dangerous for their children. These chemicals are aluminum, formaldehyde, and mercury. Aluminum allegedly causes neurological harm, while formaldehyde can cause central nervous system depression, such as coma, convulsions, and death, and cardiac impairment. But the ingredients formaldehyde, aluminum, and mercury can be used in large doses, but they are not used in harmful quantities in vaccinations. Children are exposed to more aluminum in breast milk and infant formula than they are exposed in vaccinations. With the exception of inactivated flu vaccinations, mercury has been removed or reduced to trace amounts in vaccinations for children under 6 years old. The amount of studies conducted on vaccinations have proven that vaccinations do not cause autism and do not cause any health effects in children and newborn babies. The FDA and CDC vouch for vaccinations, and they make sure all vaccinations and the ingredients used in the vaccinations are completely safe for human consumption. The FDA requires up to 10 or more years of testing for all vaccinations before they are licensed and used in the United States to the public. Some organizations that have proved vaccinations are safe to use are the CDC, Food and Drug Administration, Institute of Medicine, American Medical Association, American Academy of Pediatrics, UNICEF, U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the World Health Organization. All these departments have stated and have conducted countless researches to prove that vaccines are safe to use in people and children all around the globe. The anti-vaccination movement is putting the United States at risk of a national epidemic. It is becoming increasingly popular among new mothers to not vaccinate their children. In Sparta, New Jersey, the high school has 100% of its students vaccinated. In the middle school, it drops to 95% of the students vaccinated. Go to Alpine, and it's 92% of the students are vaccinated against these horrendous diseases. We must make sure young mothers are not misguided by false information about vaccinations and make sure the children of the United States stay safe from these horrendous diseases by being vaccinated.